Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel, continuing our discussion on understanding the 7th house lord's placement in different nakshatras. In this video, we will try to understand what kind of distinctive personality traits you can find in your partner, or what could be the theme of your matrimonial life if your 7th house lord is going to be placed in the nakshatra number 24, which is the Satbhisha Nakshatra. So friends, the whole objective of this playlist is that we are trying to classify all the nakshatras in the 4 categories of what could be the strength side of that nakshatra, connected weaknesses, opportunities, and what could be the karmic baggage or the most threatful side of the functioning of that particular nakshatra, because at the end, planets bring results in our life on the basis of their innate nature and behind the zodiac sign in which nakshatra they are going to be placed in your chart. So friends, before we will start our discussion customized to today's category, let's first try to understand little bit about this nakshatra first. So this nakshatra completely resides in the most humanitarian sign, which is Aquarius, from 6 degree 40 minutes reaching till 20 degrees. And the ownership of this nakshatra goes to the planet Rahu. Now you must be wondering, because Aquarius is being ruled by planet Saturn, and because of the involvement of Rahu, this nakshatra must be having lot of karmic side attached to it, anxiety, negativity. But trust me, truth is completely in contradiction. Rahu imparts its love for technology, innovation, little bit of the counter culturism, these kind of qualities in the functioning of this nakshatra, love for fame, media, talents in artistic and creative field, humanitarian qualities. And when we talk about Saturn, so Saturn also imparts its ascetic meditative power in the functioning of this nakshatra. And in order to understand any nakshatra or its functioning to the core, first we will start with understanding the name itself. So Satbhisha can be translated as Shat, which means 100, and Bhisha, which means medicine, healers, cures, medicines. So because of which this nakshatra has got a lot of meditative and healing powers, which is very much inherent or comes naturally in its functioning. And friends, when we talk about someone being born with these kind of healing powers, so that doesn't mean that that person has to become a doctor, that person has to become an astrologer or a psychic or a healer. These people exude that kind of aura around their personality that no matter, even if you are going through some trouble, some problem, and someone whose life or whose planetary aura and energy is highly devoted to a healing plane because of the predominance of, let's say, Ashwini Nakshatra or Satbhisha Nakshatra, so that native is definitely going to have this de-stressing qualities, rejuvenating qualities, that he knows which word to say, how to de-stress you, how to connect you with the solution of your problem. So that kind of potential you can fairly attach with the functioning of this nakshatra. And guys, the symbol attached to this nakshatra is of an empty circle. And when we talk about the deity or the god which preside over this nakshatra, so that is one of the solar deity Aditya, which is the Varuna. Now Varuna is the god of the ocean, of the water, but Varuna has been described in a light in our Vedic scriptures, that Varuna has been explained as the god of the dark night sky, so which can be interpreted in a way that this Satbhisha Nakshatra constitutes of 100 stars, more than any other nakshatra which we have discussed so far, which any nakshatra like constitutes of. So because of which you can also look at it in a way that Varuna, through the light of these night stars only, always keep an eye on our actions. And Varuna's actions has been described in our Vedic scriptures in a way that Varuna has always remained very fair in his treatment either with the demons or either with the gods. So that is how you can fairly relate the energies or functioning of this nakshatra, the qualities which it imparts from its presiding deity. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to tell you as a part of the functioning of this nakshatra. Okay friends, now we will start our discussion customized to the 4 categories. So to begin with, if you want to understand the strength side of the functioning of this nakshatra, so like the way I always emphasize on this point, that just because this nakshatra resides completely in the Aquarius sign, and Aquarius is a sign which holds the potential to give good functioning ground to all the 9 planets. So no matter whichsoever planet is your 7th house lord, being placed in the Sadbhisha nakshatra, it only means that there is definitely going to be strong possibility that your 7th house lord can function in a non-agitated way. But when we talk about unconventionality, when we talk about eccentricity, so that also predominates in the functioning of this nakshatra. So if you have to classify the energies of this nakshatra in the strength category, so definitely these people could be the most intellectual ones. These people could be blessed with strong intuition, strong intuitive powers, and these people are definitely going to have the potential and capacity to see through any of the wheel of illusion. So I mean to say, your matrimonial life could actually connect you to path of spirituality, path of your own self-discovery. Your partner could be a genius. Your partner might have got a very good reputation in the society. The only problem here is that the functioning of this nakshatra could make person little bit unconventional. So like for example, in today's day and age, even if you belong to a very traditional or conservative or orthodox community, but if your 7th house lord is going to be present in this Sadbhisha nakshatra, so even a intercaste marriage or marrying someone who is completely foreign to your culture, to your personality, can still be foreseen with this particular placement. So this is how you can see the energies functioning in the form of this your 7th house lord's placement in the Sadbhisha nakshatra. Even if you have to understand the prospect of fame, very strong expertise in any form of electronic media or technological devices, technological mediums, these people can also be very adept. They can also be very smart in all these areas, and even the functioning of this nakshatra can also give someone a very highly inclusive nature. These are not among those people, or if your 7th house lord is going to be present in the Sadbhisha nakshatra, you are definitely not headed towards a partner or a relationship where your partner is going to be little bit snobbish or little bit pretentious. These people have got a very highly humanitarian, all-inclusive nature. So because of which their magnetism doesn't reflect in the form of their beauty or their the charm in their personality. That reflect their magnetism reflect in the form of their unconventionality, their accomplishments, their genius. So that is how you can see or attach the strength side of this Sadbhisha nakshatra. So friends, moving to the next category. Now if you want to understand the connected weaknesses in the functioning of this nakshatra, so this nakshatra is little bit unconventional, like the way I have been using this word throughout in this discussion. This is not a very socially savvy nakshatra. Now when we talk about social savviness, that is not restricted only to your friend circle, your social influence, even within the close walls of your house, of your home, the way you behave, the way you treat other people. So you might have a good heart, but when it comes down to having refinement in your behavior, now if you have that refinement outside the home, it is going to help you to climb the ladder of success, and even within the domestic matters, it is going to help you in order to have a harmonious life and relationship with everyone. But when we talk about the functioning of this nakshatra, it could be seen as little bit eccentric in a way that these guys could be very naive, these people could be very truthful, but they have this habit of, like the way any eccentric genius or a scientist which you could relate the personality with or the personality traits with, where you could fairly expect little bit of the absent-mindedness or suddenly exploding. Many a times the person remains completely quiet, the person comes across as someone who is very shy, very reclusive, but suddenly person just blurt out all the truth and actually gave a shock to the people. So that kind of unconventionality, that kind of eccentricity can also be attached with the functioning of this nakshatra. And friends, adding to all these shortcomings, these natives also suffer from having a suspicious nature or always doubting or trying to get to the depth of any given situation or circumstances just to find out the truth. Now in these kind of scenarios or circumstances, you have to understand the psychology of a Sadbhisha native. It doesn't mean that if they are coming across as someone who is little bit suspicious, that they are doubting the credibility of the people around them. It's just like that they are always trying to protect themselves. They could be very naive, they could be very innocent, they could be little bit gullible, and like the way I told you this thing, that the symbol attached to this nakshatra is of an empty circle. So this is the kind of external environment which they create around them, where other people find it very difficult to come in contact with them, and all those people who are already in their inner circle, they are always doubting just in order to protect themselves and protect the people around them with a good intentions. So that is how you can see the connected or attached weaknesses in the functioning of this nakshatra. Now friends, moving ahead, if you want to understand the connected opportunities, so like the way I have already explained you this thing, that this nakshatra has got a league of its own when we talk about intuitive knowledge, when we talk about intellectual knowledge, when we talk about prospects of fame or prospect of getting fame in media, knowledge of technology, or being respected in the society because of their knowledge, and because of their this counter culturism attitude, all inclusive humanitarian intentions. So because of which, definitely if you will head in a matrimonial life where there is going to be a predominance of this Sadbhisha nakshatra, so you could be respected, or respect or knowledge or wisdom could dawn upon you because of the influence of Sadbhisha nakshatra. So from that perspective, the energy of this nakshatra can be seen as very positive, which could actually connect you with lot many opportunities, only if you will learn to live with the unconventionality and little bit of the eccentricity of this Sadbhisha nakshatra. And guys, the last section is, now if you want to understand the karmic baggage or the most dreaded side of the functioning of this nakshatra, so this nakshatra has got little bit of the vulnerability of emotional and mental turmoil, psychological turmoil at its peak. When we talk about the problem of addictions or dependency on the intoxicants, so all of these possibilities can also be there or could also trouble someone's marital life if your 7th house lord is going to be present in this Sadbhisha nakshatra. And many times it has been seen that these natives end up getting all form of suffering in isolation only. Majority of the times, no matter how much intelligent these natives are, sometimes their behavior, their judgment, their actions could be little bit unreasonable or little bit impulsive. So because of which, I've even seen all those charts and all those matrimonial life where marriage got split only because of headstrongness or egoistic, that just a dasha came, a transit came, marriage was going through good times, one person in the relationship who was little bit unreasonable or bit unpredictable, completely in the range or in the grip of nodes, Rahu and Ketu, and this person took a very extreme step, and after that, just because of his ego or because of his creating this circle around him where he is not making himself accessible to the advices and suggestion of other people, he actually completely screwed up his matrimonial life. So I mean to say, that was the extreme case, but because of the involvement of Saturn, because of the involvement of Rahu, the karmic energies are definitely going to be at its peak. So your behavior has to be at its best. If your attitude, your endeavors in the relationship, towards the partner, towards anyone in the relationship is not respectable, is not going to be completely monitored, then in those kind of situation or circumstances, the energy of this nakshatra can actually trouble someone. And when it comes down to understanding the remedial part, so trust me guys, this nakshatra completely comes in the purview of Lord Shiva. So worship of Lord Shiva can actually bless you good compatible match a good domestic harmonious matrimonial life. In any case friends, as you know this thing that in our Hindu culture, majority of the single girls who want to find a compatible partner for themselves, so there is a fasting mechanism or ritual where they keep 16 Monday fastings, 16 Somvar fastings, which helps them, which bless them with a very compatible and right partner. So because of which, or because of the predominance or the involvement and the presiding energies of Lord Shiva, worship of Lord Shiva can actually protect you and bless you with a good matrimonial life and a very compatible partner in the form of this Shatabhisha Nakshatra's involvement. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for your 7th house Lord's placement in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.